Back to business. Hello friends, my name is Brandon Dayton, I'm your humble narrator, and welcome back to a series that I somewhat abandoned but now want to return to, and it is called Fucking with Films, Mucking with Movies. Maybe it's the inverse of that, I'm not too sure. Today, we are going to be looking at Silence of the Lambs, which is absolutely a renowned movie for a lot of reasons. Dialogue, plot, everything. Today we're going to look a little bit at the editing. I'm going to try and shed some insight, and I do hope that you will let me know whether I have succeeded or not. So let's go ahead and play.
Starling. Clarice in. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Crawford.
Sorry to pull you off the course at such short notice. Your instructors tell me you're doing well. Top quarter of your class.
I hope so. They haven't posted any grades yet.
Stop. So we're getting an old over-the-shoulder shot on him, which indicates it's kind of distance. It's all business right now, but she's ready to open up. She does see him as a father figure, which is basically what the whole film is centralized around. If somebody asks you what this film is about and you tell them it's about a serial killer, you're not going to get the job as the editor. Her father dies in the movie. She really wants this guy to be her father, but Hannibal Lecter is the one that ends up taking the role, which is sort of tragic, but also a bit fitting.
Jobs come up, and I thought about you. Not a job, really, more of an interesting errand. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
I remember you from my seminar at UVA. You grilled me pretty hard, as I recall, in the Bureau of Civil Rights record in the Hoover years. I gave you an A.
A-, sir.
Stop. So he opens up to her just a little bit there. That's why we get the close-up. I remember you, etc., etc. And then she reveals some about her character just by saying, "It was an A-, sir." And that tells so much about Clarice. And that look right there is definitely the look of, like, a proud father, which goes back to my earlier point. Play.
Let's see. Double major, psych and criminology, graduated Magna, summer internships at the Reisinger Clinic. It says here, when you graduate, you want to come to work for me in behavioral science.
Yes, very much, sir. Very much.
We're interviewing all the serial killers now in custody for a psychobehavioral profile. Could be a real help in unsolved cases. Most of them have been happy to talk to us.
Stop. We have his voice going on her face, which allows us to gauge her reaction to what he's saying. There is a point in this scene where the inverse happens very briefly, but since Clarice is our main character, we're the one that primarily wants to be focused on. I think that makes good sense. I think it's a good cut. You could have just had his face, but this allows the reaction. Play.
You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
See, the one we want most refuses to cooperate. I want you to go after him again today in the asylum.
Who's the subject?
The psychiatrist, Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal the cannibal.
I don't expect him to talk to you. But I have to be able to say we tried. So if he won't cooperate, I want just straight reporting. How's he look? How's his cell look? Is he sketching, drawing? If he is, what's he sketching?
Back to business
Here's
with the zoom out.
Dossier on Lecter. Copy of our questionnaire and a special ID for you. Have your memo on my desk by 0800 Wednesday.
Okay. Excuse me, sir, but why the urgency? Lecter's been in prison for so many years now. Is there some connection between him and Buffalo Bill, maybe?
I wish there were. I want your full attention, Starling.
Yes, sir.
Backing close.
Be very careful with Hannibal
Because he
Lecter.
cares.
Dr. Chilton at the asylum will go over all the physical procedures used with him. Do not deviate from them for any reason whatsoever. And you're to tell him nothing personal, Starling. Believe me, you don't want Hannibal Lecter inside your head. Just do your job, but never forget what he is.
And what is that?
Oh, he's a monster.
Stop. So that is a really cool cut right there. We have the question and then the answer from Dr. Chilton, which kind of introduces his character as well. More so, the outside of the building says Baltimore Forensic Hospital, which is not true at all. This was shot primarily in Pennsylvania, a little bit in West Virginia. So that sign was made by the props department, painted up to look all weathered, and I think they did a really great job with that. Play.
Pure psychopath. So rare to capture one alive. From a research point of view, Lecter is our most prized asset.
Pause. So we get the close-up on him because now he's trying to be intimate with her, but she is in the faraway shot, and notice what's behind her. She is in a corner. She's standing in a corner. She feels cornered. She doesn't know this creepy guy, and admittedly, he is kind of a creepy guy. He turns out in the movie to be somewhat of a villain, and that's kind of evident even in this scene. So let's continue. Play.
You know, we get a lot of detectives here, but I must say I can't ever remember one as attractive. Will you be in Baltimore overnight? Because this can be quite a fun town if you have the right guide.
I'm sure this is a great town, Dr. Chilton, but my instructions are to talk to Dr. Lecter and report back this afternoon.
I see. Let's make this quick then.
Pause. So, primarily their exchange, when she did get a close-up, she was not looking at the camera, which indicates she didn't want to make eye contact with him. He is kind of a creepy guy. Really, this movie has so much, and I don't want to cover too much of it just for fear of a copyright strike or something like that. If I end up getting one anyways, then we'll deal with that as it comes, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple of scenes, 2 scenes exactly, and just shed some insight on what exactly makes this movie so great. Hopefully you can look at films with a new eye, a bit more of a critical eye. It's interesting also the heights in the next scene, which I'm not going to go to, but primarily Hannibal Lecter is shot and you're looking up at Hannibal Lecter and down at Starling, which really indicates the change of power. The scenes that we saw here didn't do that so much because it wasn't as animalistic as a force. Maybe you did see it a little bit with Dr. Chilton, but he was the one sitting down. Still, I think the balance of power was in his favor for this scene. It's an extremely fun film to dissect if you want to sit down and do so. I hope that I was able to shed some insight, friends, and I sincerely hope that you will join us for the next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe if I was able to bring anything new. And if you do, I'll send you a Hannibal Lecter face mask so you don't bite your stitches. That's going to be really nice. So I hope to see you in the next one, friends. And until then, bye-bye.
1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, goodbye, see you again. Goodbye, goodbye, see you, my friend.